You may think we are in a better position with the rains we had this last spring and summer. Well, think again. Farmers and ranchers are still dealing with a short water supply, and it can pose another challenging irrigation season. Here's more. Now, you may remember seeing the drought conditions improve across the state last year, especially when you look at the drought monitor. And you look at that and you'll see that we've pulled out of the extreme drought in much of the state. Extreme drought does not even show up on the Nebraska map now. But 1 year ago, over 77% of the state was in exceptional drought. But farmers are still dealing with that short water supply, and this irrigation season will again pose a challenge, making the most from each drop of water. And Dave Ford joining us here with more from CNPPID and the Central Nebraska Public Power Irrigation District. So now that this is going on, you know, some people think we have had such wet conditions, but you still have to allocate the water that these farmers are getting.
Yeah, and we look at our main water supply is the water that we get out of Lake McConaughey for our customers, and we rely on the snowpack in the Rocky Mountains in Wyoming. And in 2011 was a great year, had record inflows and record snow amounts, but the last 2 years have been about half of that, so or about half of a normal year.
So this year you're allocating again to 9 inches, is that right?
Yes, a normal supply is up to 18 inches of water to each acre. And last year we cut that back to 10 inches. We're about 100,000 acre feet less right now than we were a year ago. And as we looked at it last fall, the directors cut that back a little bit more, so we're doing 9 inches this year.
So it's crazy. You think the contract's everything for 18 inches, but they're only getting half of that, which is just nuts. And you've had to do this for several years.
Yes, in fact, this 2014 will be the 7th year of the last 10 that we've had to do that. So I hope not, but it may be becoming the new normal.
You know, it puts it in perspective that really the short water supply that we have. Now, you guys also made a decision about wells up in the Loomis area. Explain that.
Okay, on one of the policies that we have when we have an allocation is to allow producers to redistribute their water, their surface water, and utilize any groundwater that they may have in their operation, and maybe collect surface water on where they don't have groundwater access. One of the other things we have in the E65 area, we have some wells that help supplement the water supply there. And we're going to replace 3 of those wells. There are 8 of them altogether, but it's just a mechanism to help augment the supply of water in the E65 system.
So any words of encouragement for farmers out there? Because, you know, they're still dealing with this problem.
That's exactly right. And we can only look forward. The snowpack as of today is about right on the 30-year average, so that's looking better than it has the last couple of years, but it's time to see some recovery. And
did the water help, remember from Colorado that came in and you distributed that? Has that helped at all either?
You know, I think it probably has, although our groundwater levels are down. You know, the last 2 years have been a lot of pumping, and so the groundwater levels are down, and so we put water in the canals to help do some recharge in those areas. You know, Lake McConaughey sits on the North Platte River, and this was on the floods were on the South Platte River, so no water was able to get into Lake McConaughey. We were able to put some into Elwood and some into our canals for recharge.
So that's good to see that anyway, at least get some there. Thank you so much, Dave, for coming in. If you have questions, remember you can always go to our website, nebraska.tv, click on NTV's Grow. Thank you again. Many people in the area believe ag education is needed, especially in rural Nebraska schools. NTV's Grow co-host Steve White has more when we return.